Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Bit of a late video for a Sunday. Apologies for that. I hope you're all well and you've enjoyed your weekend. Yes, indeed, it is Sunday, which means the end of another week on the petrol exchanges. And one I've got in front of you here is Bybit. And that's right, 9 weeks. Basically within a $15,000 range from 59,000 up to, well, if you include the wicks, I should include the wicks, 56,000 up to 74,000. So what's that? $18,000 range. Maybe I should stop calling it a range. Anyway, the candle closures have been more within a range between 61 and 71. So more like a $10,000 range for candle closures. However, 9 weeks is more than many of these consolidation phases within the bull run market, and second only to this big long one over here, which was many more weeks. In fact, it was like 6 months. So I hope this doesn't occur. But as I've said in previous videos, if it did, as in, something like this, then that would absolutely, without this breaking down too much further, particularly without Bitcoin getting below about 45,000, then you would look for probably an equally big move, which, is I think what most people would like. Also, what I want to cover in this video, just give me 1 second to remove the MACD so that my sort of head's in the way there. Hello, Simon. Oh, got an itchy nose. Oh, yeah. Oh, go on. Sorry, moment of insanity. Happens to us all. Now, this first move, basically from the all-time low here, not all-time low, current macro low, don't move the chart, just the box, up to that local high. As you could see, it retraced 50%. So this wick came down 50%. Then the next move that I'm going to say, personally, I see from terrible Scottish accent, here to here, with a, what's going on with this box? It's like it's got a mind of its own. From there to that, with again a 50% retracement with this wick down here. Then that was basically sideways, right? So there wasn't really a move there. It just moved back up to the top of where it had previously got to and then retraced down to the bottom before the next move occurred. So 250% retracement so far. And then this next big move here from this low, stop moving the whole chart, all the way up to this wick high. You can see it didn't quite get down to 50%. That wick low there, I'd have to hazard a guess, but it's probably between 35 and 40% retracement. So not to the same extent of those two moves, but a significant retracement nonetheless. And then you got this current move. So from this wick low all the way up to the top. And as you can see, that last week's wick down to 56,000, give or take, did indeed retrace 50% of that whole move up. And, I think that becomes more significant if Bitcoin can sort of turn things around here. And I'll come on to what that may look like on the lower time frames in a moment. In fact, right now, I can't remember if I've wished you all a nice weekend. So if I didn't at the beginning, then I'm going to now. Also, we had some crazy weather in Wales today. It was a beautiful summer's day. Then it was hailstoning and weather like a rainforest. Crazy, bouncing off the ground it was. And now it's quite pleasant again. So it's been an interesting day weather-wise. I know you don't really care about the weather, but it's a significant part of life in the UK, being an island, and therefore exposed to lots of coastal weathers. So yeah, we talk about it all the time. Anyway, shut up, Simon. Right, this is the 4-hour chart. it's okay to be rude to yourself, right? That's fine. So this 4-hour chart, same old downtrend that's been going on basically since, well, if you were very clever, you could have entered into a short probably somewhere around here. So basically since Friday the 12th of April, well, by my count, that's like 4 weeks. So that's like a whole month of a downtrend. Having said that, last week's low still holds as a local low. And the 50% of this little move up here, which is around 60,500, it's also still holding. And indeed, CME closed last week above it. And so far, Bybit is indeed looking like it wants to close above it. So that's significant. While it holds, it's significant. Once it's broken, it goes into insignificance. And so if we check in on momentum, you can see the 4-hour momentum that I use personally, which is the MACD crossing the zero line. It's trying hard. It's trying hard again. There was one try then, and this is going to be the second try. The current pivot is basically at 65,000, which, no surprises, will be back around the price action of this high, which is, I'd say, the current local high. So, it's trying to reverse this downtrend, but it hasn't yet succeeded, and therefore momentum is still to the downside. Now, what I personally like to see for confirmation of basically Bitcoin getting its bull face back on would be sort of closures back above around 66,000 on a 4-hour daily. That would sort of switch the narrative somewhat. But up until then, more downside likely based on momentum. The daily indeed also is securely down, and then the lower time frames are doing the lower time frame flippity-floppy stuff. But, it doesn't take the brains of an archbishop to read that as a bear flag. But, we shall see. Further moves down, probably retrace back to 56.5, something like that. Below that, got to be looking for 53, somewhere between 53 and 50,500, basically all this price action here. But that would be beyond the 50% retracement of this move up, which would be different to the last, to all of the moves that have occurred since this bull market kind of became a bull market following the current macro low of 15,000. And let's face it, if I chuck the week back on, if you're looking to buy in a bull market, whoa, what was that all about? Why did machine learning suddenly come up on my good indicator? If you're interested in trading from an indicator, that is by no means financial advice. But anyway, what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so if you're looking to buy throughout a bull market, so if you didn't buy it all down here, I mean, only an absolute genius trader would have bought all of their, years worth of investment of Bitcoin here. I'm sure some people did, and good for them. I certainly didn't. But, once the bull market became established, and you probably argue it did when it got back above about sort of 32,000, then you look for, pullbacks of significance to buy. And that happened there, which wasn't quite 50% retracement. And you do wonder if we've already seen that with this wick down and weekly closure. But that's a mere hypothesis, and the only way to know if your hypothesis is correct, of course, is to disprove it. So, there we go. Anyway, that's 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe. If you didn't, don't come back tomorrow. It'll be a fresh week. It'll be a Monday of Simon's Daily Bitcoin Price Action Analysis. Goodbye.